Stabcast number 6, the Renaissance. Hey guys, how you doing? Mr. Stab coming back at you. We're talking about the Renaissance. The Renaissance, as you should remember, Renaissance is a word that means a rebirth, and this is a rebirth of cultural and intellectual pursuits. And it starts in Italy, and one of the reasons it starts in Italy is because it's a rebirth in Greek and Roman learning. Italy, obviously, being the center of the Roman Empire. You can look at the Renaissance as an example of a revolution. A lot of you assume a revolution's a war. It's not. In this case, a revolution's a turning point, okay, which is a period of really big change. And you can look at the Renaissance as a period of change in art, in science, in literature, and really in a way of thinking about the world. Before the Renaissance, the fall of Rome leads to the Dark Ages, and Europe is stuck in this period of time known as the Dark Ages. Things eventually get better. It becomes the Middle Ages, and during the Middle Ages, there's the Crusades. If you remember, the Crusades were holy wars to recapture the Holy Land from the Muslims. During this time period, and as a result of the Crusades, there's going to be an increase in trade, which means an increase in wealth for merchants. The church and religious things are very important during this time period as well. The Renaissance can be then seen as a time of secularism. This means that non-religious ideas are going to become very important. People are going to lose faith in the church because of the plague and because the Crusades fail. As a result, the subject of art is going to move away from strictly religious subjects, and then there will be non-religious subjects as part of art as well. And secularism is going to lead to something known as humanism. This is an intellectual movement where people are going to start to focus on life in the present. During the Middle Ages, people were focused mostly on the afterlife. Their life on earth was pretty terrible. They were more concerned with going to heaven and doing things of a religious nature. That's going to change as a result of the Renaissance and as a result of humanism. During this time period, there's also going to be a study of ancient Greek and Roman texts. The Greeks didn't know about Christianity. It starts in the period of the Roman Empire, but they're going to look back to the past to try to change the present. And these ideas are going to be reflected in the artistic, literature, or literary and scientific achievements of the time. Yeah, that's right. I just stumbled over literary. It's a funny word. There's going to be patrons during this time period. It's one of the things that makes this time period possible. Patrons are really wealthy merchants, like the Medici family, and they're going to fund artists. In fact, they just funded my latest piece of art. I call him Sticky. And they're going to give huge amounts of money to artists to beautify Florence and the rest of Italy. The church is also going to pay artists to create religious art and to design churches. The church has lots of money, the church has lots of power. Even though the artists aren't necessarily doing it for religious reasons, the church has money. So they're willing to take the church's money in order to fund their other projects. There's also going to be all these wealthy nobles who have lots of money, and they're going to hire artists as well to paint things like portraits and other things around their houses to make things more beautiful. All right, guys, that's the Renaissance. Like we said, it's a revolution. Things change. It's a turning point. Get it? I don't think so. Have a nice day.